The ability to flat bottom V-carve has finally come to Carbide Create. Stick around, I'm going to show you how it works and what you need to know to use it. Alright, let's jump right into this one. I'm in the latest version of Carbide Create, which at this time is build 462. And I've just imported this robot image from the library that they have, and I've drawn a rectangle around it. So now what we're going to do is we'll go over to our toolpath tab, and we're going to select everything. And now we're just going to click on Advanced V Carve. So it's going to select two tools. The first one here for tool number 1, the pocket tool, is going to be this 1/8 end mill, and you can change that if you want to, but for this demonstration I'm just going to leave it. And then tool 2 is going to be a V-bit, and for this one I have a 60-degree V-bit selected. We can change what our max depth will be set to. I have this set to 0.08, and then we can name it if we'd like, and we'll just click OK. And now when you look at these tool paths here, you'll notice something. So these larger tool paths here are our 1/8 inch end mill. But then you'll notice these areas here where you have a bunch of really tight passes, and what that is the V-bit. And the reason it needs to do that is because in this area here, that 1/8 end mill won't fit. Same with around the eyes and in between the torso and the legs here. And you'll also notice something in the corner where you have these little shapes here. Again, that's our V-bit. And what it's doing is the 1/8 inch end mill can only get so far into this corner, so it has to use the V-bit to clear out more material here. Another thing that you'll notice here is even though we have two tools selected, we only have one tool path that it generated. And because of this, we're either going to need to use the bit setter, or like what I use, the depth stop collars that set all of my bits to the same length. So now we can go ahead and save the G-code and send this over to Carbide Motion. And then we're going to cut it real quick, and I'll show you what the prompts are going to be and how you have to respond to them. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and click Start. And now it's going to prompt us to insert a 1/8 inch end mill, which I've already got installed. Click Resume, and now it's going to prompt us to start the spindle. Alright, so now we get the prompt to shut the spindle off, which we've done. We'll click Resume. And now it wants us to do a tool change, and I'm going to put in our 60-degree V-bit. I've got a video on these depth stop collars, and I'll put a link in the description to that. we'll go ahead and click resume. And now if you had a bit setter, it would actually go over and measure the length of this bit so that it knew exactly how long it is. Like I said, I don't use the bit setter, I use these depth stop collars, so I don't have to do any of that. So we'll go ahead and start our spindle. Alright, so here's our finished product. I just cut the edges off of it. It came out pretty good. If you look close, you can see that there was just a little bit of depth variation between the 1/8 inch end mill and that 60-degree V-bit. So you can see how important it is that you have them set to the exact same length if you're going to be using those depth stop collars. And I think that's also part of the reason why they have it set so that you have to use the bit setter. As long as that's working properly, it should take care of any issue like that. So thanks for checking this out. I think this opens a pretty big world of new stuff that we can do with Carbide Create. This is something we've been asking for a while. I'm pretty excited about it. I'd love to see what you guys are coming up with. Make sure you tag me on Instagram or Facebook. I'll put my names for those down in the description. And I'll see you over on this next video.